If we can find like a nebula or something. Can you get on the computer to using your astro navigation skills? Can you set a course for the nearest nebula?
The nearest nebula is how far away?
I don't know. You want to do a roll?
Yeah, I'll do a roll. Might as well do a roll. I'm piloting.
No, you do a roll. I'm piloting.
So, what's this?
You sounded so just like. I'm piloting.
He's just sitting there grumbling to himself.
Piloting. Yes, I'll make the roll. I'm piloting. Yes. Is anyone else sitting up front here? No. I'm piloting. It's me. Fuckers.
Well, I don't know if you'd want any of the rest of us to pilot, so...
And I'm strapped in. So, 2d20 on control con. Oh my god. Well, one success.
A 19 and a 4.
Ah, what's your con?
Praise
And
Maiden.
what's your con?
my 4 meets my con.
So there you go. 2 successes, right?
And my focus is small. I have a small craft focus. Or does that not matter? Because that's more maybe in the piloting sense.
That's more in the piloting sense. Did you have astro navigation?
Okay.
Okay.
No.
So it's 1 success.
That's better than none.
Dice Maiden, what did we ever do
What
to
did you have for your focuses?
Me. Small craft, EVA, evasive action, starship recognition, something that I can't tell you about, and composure.
Something that I can't tell you about is my favorite focus.
It was one of the redacted things off the record that you would have seen.
But we've
redacted,
crossed it
huh?
off his sheet too, so he doesn't know what it is either. It only comes into play at certain points.
It's redacted
That's
on
why
my
he
sheet
can't
too.
tell us about it. He doesn't know.
Every now and again, it's just like, I think this one might work.
Is that related to one of your focuses? Well, I don't
could be.
know. Maybe?
Okay, so how far are we from? What is our estimated time of arrival at?
So there's a couple of things, but not as much as you'd like. It's sort of a lot of empty
Cygnus 5
space.
Nebula. Sure.
But there's a couple of things.
Okay.
Right. I guess we'll plot course for the nearest one.
All right.
Sure.
And once I've thrusted in the appropriate direction, we're going to head off. And I'm just looking at the images. Probably through the top left-hand corner. So we're really only, but in between the weapon system and the admin building, we're going to try and shoot full impulse straight out, if that makes sense. So hopefully we only get really one gun. Or is it missiles or guns, or I don't know. Okay. Yep.
Give me a piloting roll, and you have evasive, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you're using that?
And small craft as well.
Well, only one's going to apply.
Well, evasive action, obviously.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because you can't use 2 focuses on the same roll.
Yep. Okay. So I get roll 2d20, right? Damn, nope. But 2 success.
2 success? Okay.
That's daring con. Yep, 2 success. Well, that looks like 2 as well.
Tie break.
And there's 1
Does the shuttlecraft have
Yes, it
shields?
does, and no one put them up.
Ah!
Well, logically, we
Yeah,
would,
but
wouldn't
that's not that's not how games work. GM cannot
You gotta
Yeah.
say.
I don't know. Would we if we were in a shipyard trying to be stealthful? I don't know.
because if a GM allows players to go, well, logically we would have done that, then every time a player doesn't do something, they can just say, well, logically I would have brought the rope, or I would have done this, or I wouldn't have pressed that button, or I would have done...
Yeah, they don't do it in the show, that's all. They're automatically on, just seems like.
Nope. There's a lot of times you'll hear them say Ray Shields.
Yep.
I think by default they're off.
Yeah, by default they are off.
It's like a sign
So
of
if they're-
aggression.
If they're not on, then they're not. Oh well.
It doesn't take long to raise them. And again, I don't think we would have them on because that would be sending a signal that we're a Federation ship.
Not necessarily.
Well, either way,
Well, they
We
could
didn't have them
determine what the phase length of the or the wavelength of the deflector itself, and that would tell them that it's a Federation thing. So
well, we'll find out, I guess. Oh,
and he gets a 1 and a 2. What's he rolling? He's
well,
rolling
it's
4d6.
D6, not
yeah,
D20, so
Yeah.
that's more of a damage roll. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 4's not counted,
Yeah, the 4's not counted.
but the 1, 2, and 5 are. So that's
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
4 damage with a complication.
With a
And it
Effect?
will use
Effects.
Effect. Yeah.
it'll use that effect, but that effect won't actually do anything. But they didn't know. I will go with what they think they would have most likely have gone with. So you are a couple of beams. You get further away than. So they don't fire initially. So they definitely were a bit confused about the your ident, which allowed you to start to put some distance between the base and you. But they decided that your speed and the not making sense ident was dodgy. They do get a breach.
And we all die.
No.
Sucked out
Tuan
into
gets
space.
sucked out.
Commander Yennek is
No,
already in
we're all
his
strapped
EVH
in.
suit.
We did say that we were all strapped in,
Exactly.
This time.
but our air's not strapped in.
No, it's not.
Andorians don't need air, right?
That is
So
not.
it's a reasonably solid hit, and it does cause structural damage. You feel this big impact, and the lights flicker. Con is damaged, but you are now outside their weapons range.
Okay.
Oh.
Mr. Hunt,
Crap, that
shields
was
up
close.
and get us to that nebula at maximum speed. We'll station
Is
just
anything
outside
following
it to commence repairs on the shuttlecraft, and then we can go into the nebula.
Nothing is following you.
What was damaged?
Con. So,
Oh, I'm asking.
okay, sorry.
How badly?
It's sluggish to the helm.
No, that's fine.
Con's been damaged. Oh, helm's damaged. We've taken a hit. It's reacting really sluggish at the moment.
Okay.
That's going to take me all of my concentration to keep this thing on the level.
Lieutenant Thatcher, see if you can extrapolate a safe path to put us outside of any hazardous area in the nebula while we can commence repairs on the con system.
And Hunt flicks up shields. Just...
Okay. Lieutenant Tuan, you're with me. Let's try to repair the breach in the hull.
Yes,
see
sir.
if we can or further examine it at least.
Yep. Kelle will go with the XO.
Yeah. 3 steps this way. Basically,
Yep.
right?
yes,
Very far.
massive journey.
Go all this way over here.
Don't forget to take some water in case you get thirsty.
Squeeze around the warp core.
Exactly.
Which is taking up all the space.
We're sidling along.
I got 1 success to plot a course.
And another 19.
Yes, Dice Maiden's definitely playing with us today.
Dice Maiden.
So again, the
Really?
course you're not entirely happy with, but you think it's the best you're going to get.
Yeah. Just because we can't 100% trust the con at this point. The system, not the operator.
We need to program our own dice bot.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
That favors the players.
I'm going to be a little suspicious if it only has ones.
Oh look!
Curses
I rolled
he's
2 ones
seen
again!
through our deception.
And then we'll accidentally
We're so
use
lucky
it for
today.
forever on or something.
Forever.
Just keep rolling.
Turn
ones.
it. Another one. Oh, no, you got to throw in like a 2 every once in a while there, so it's not quite as suspicious.
And then the GM starts rolling secretly, and you hear the GM go 20, and then the dice roll.
So what are we using to try and fix?
So by
we're
breach,
actually just examining it.
this wasn't a hull breach as in crew cabin. So
Okay.
it has not vented to space, but it has vented the hull. Like, it has penetrated the hull and damaged control surfaces and stuff like that. So yeah, there's not a crack in your crew
if we're going
cabin.
at warp, we're not going to be able to do anything. But I mean, we'll just
There's nothing we can do from in here.
do whatever we have to do to it.
I mean, you might be able to. They always pull a panel off and start doing things. I mean, you might be able to sort of go,
exactly.
let's try to reroute more power to con or something like that. But yeah, you haven't got there's not a hull breach into the cabin sort of thing where it's vented and that.
Excellent.
That's fair enough. I mean, if worse comes to worse, we do have our EVA suits. We can always divert more power.
Breaches in ship combat really relate to a systems breach.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe what we'll be doing then is seeing the area where it was, like you were suggesting, Aaron. We'll pull that panel out and see if there's stuff that's routed directly to the con system, and see if we can't commence repairs.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that stuff got burnt out. Like it also caused an overload, so maybe some systems have. There might have been a small fire in there. There might be some of those chips that Data likes pulling out. Maybe some of them are cracked or broken. Things like that. Some of the internal damage is sort of seeped in.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so we will take a look at that, see what we can do. I don't know if that's something you want us to roll for.
It would be if you want to try to repair it. Like if you're trying to improve some of the damage.
We're trying to repair it. What is my target?
3.
Control and engineering?
Yeah, and it's engineering. And you can do.
And I'm attempting to assist with only my left arm?
I've got Frontier
You can point.
Tech.
Do it this way.
Which is not my dominant
Move that
hand,
one.
so I'm like,
Okay, let's
Don't
see.
let those wires
do
touch.
that. So sorry, it was control engineering?
Yeah, okay,
Tuan.
so 2 successes.
Yeah, I'm going to be such help.
2 successes, but no... but... Oh, it doesn't matter. I had focuses, but no, that doesn't... Now, I do have talent there. There's the technical expertise.
That's a success, actually, I think. Let me double check, but... Control engineering? Yeah, that meets. So that's
So
a
we got
success.
3 successes.
Okay, that's what you needed.
Excellent.
The pointing was very helpful.
So you notice that the con is a little more responsive to the touch.
I don't know what you guys did back there, but she's flying a bit easier.
Oh, that's good.
Excellent. Okay, so the plan now is to get to the nebula, and the gases in the nebula will leave a scattered ionization trail if we switch to impulse when we're in the nebula, and then we can exit the nebula at a different point and warp back to Narendra Station. It will buy us at least enough time, because they will have to search the whole nebula to figure out where we exited from, right? The points are basically endless. Once we enter the nebula,
And they didn't seem to have a lot of they didn't seem to have any ships on station that were like prepared. Which is why you don't think they were giving pursuit. It's not that they didn't want you to get away, it's just you don't think they were actually prepared for this. They weren't expecting this, so they didn't have any ships there or shuttles.
They were yelling out their windows, "Hey, that's our ship! Come back with our ship! Or our warp core!"
Just the warp core. We've still got the ship.
So the ship's right to go into warp now? Yep, okay. And Hunt will activate warp.
Excellent.
See, this is why I gave you guys the highest praise and commendation. You've earned it.
I mean, I'm fine with them getting it, but all I did was tag along in case anyone got hurt, and then be the only one who got hurt.
Someone had to be the target. I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's just the way these things go.
It's not even the game where I insult the people with guns. That's
Well, you do pick on Hunt.
Well,
No, I don't.
You're like the Larry David. That's right.
I just remind him not to hit his head again. That's all. I hardly call that picking on. Looking out for his well-being.
Yeah, you don't pick on Hunts, you pick on Adam.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
There's a difference. And now that he's officially got his masters, he's fair game.
Is that so? I didn't know people with master's degrees were...
Am I going to have to get my PhD just so that I'm above this? That's Dr. Adam now. When you insult me, it's Dr. Adam.
It's what Douglas Adams said in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But what they really found they really disliked in the end was a smartass.
Okay, so we make our way to this nebula.
I guess you want me to make a piloting roll through that?
Yeah, sure. Yep, it's not
Nebula?
particularly hard, and I'm hoping you might get some momentum back.
Aha.
All right.
You
2
can have one
successes.
momentum.
Okay. Nebulas.
Oh, and my small craft focus means my con was met. So I got
Then
3
you get
successes.
2 momentum. Don't say
Excellent.
I never give you anything.
In fairness, Chrome's asking me to order pizza again. What the hell? It's like every...
Adam has an alert on Chrome that keeps telling him to buy pizza.
I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know which freaking
Is that
Chrome
your, is that
add-on
your
it
Sunday
is.
morning tradition?
No. It's like, geez, you order pizza one time and Chrome
You know,
thinks...
Sunday morning
hey,
pizza.
This is what happens when your shuttle gets hit because you didn't raise shields.
You get pizza?
Order pizza. Sit back and watch the result.
It got hit.
All right.
Something's overloaded.
So,
now there's like Narendra pizza. Narendra pizza.
What?
Narendra pizza. Narendra pizza.
Not right now.
For the best pizza, in fact, it's the only one in the Shackleton Expanse. Narendra pizza.
Delivered right to your spaceship.
But only if you're on Narendra.
Except not. Yes.
We deliver anywhere on Narendra.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Anywhere in the universe, as long as it's on Narendra.
Teleported straight to your door.
30 parsecs or less, or it's free.
Exactly.
But a parsec is a unit of distance.
Hey, delivered in 30 parsecs, otherwise it's free.
But what if you live more or less than 30 parsecs away?
Cold
Obviously,
pizza.
you'd have to pay for it. Yeah, very
No,
cold
but
pizza.
It's a unit of distance.
Especially if he was riding a push bike to deliver that far. In space.
Impulse power. It was a bad impulse.
All right.
Could have gotten the delivery drivers something other than bicycles.
So, EXO, we're through the nebula.
So, yep. I will leave it entirely to you, Commander Hunt. Pick a point of egress, and from there, warp straight to Narendra Station.
All right. So Hunt will do that. Pick a system probably with a few planets or something.
Well, you're going to exit the nebula at a convenient point for you.
Okay, so we're not choosing another warp.
No, the more I think about it, the more I think that once you go into a nebula, I mean your points are endless, where you can exit from, right? And that's where the warp signature is going to go. So it's kind of like, if they happen to get the 1 in however many quadrillion chance that they nail the exact point where we took off from, then I guess the gig is up. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I think by the time they can pinpoint it, the Pegasus will be long gone from the dock. To say nothing of the fact that they would have to prove that something was done against them, which would require admitting that they had property. So I mean, we've violated a treaty that they had already violated. So I mean, it's an uncomfortable situation all around if they want to try to bring something against the
Did we
Federation.
really violate it?
Well, that's what I mean.
It's here.
Yeah, it's a sticky wicket, and that's fair. But I think they're probably as reluctant to start something with the Federation as the Federation is to start something with them.
Did they really break the treaty, though? Like, if they just found it floating around?
Well,
that's
I guess
really...
if it's a non-aggression treaty, then I suppose it's never been examined, and we didn't get anything to really prove that they had obtained that ship by less than legal means. Aaron,
Either way,
they don't know that either.
I think we did get the name of the ship.
if they had have captured the crew, and he's got double quotes up in the air, captured the crew and had done something with them, they don't know if we have that information. If we're able to abscond anything off the ship's computer.
It's an old ship. I'm guessing they've acquired the ship. Because if it's a compatible warp core, it's probably a 200-year-old ship as well. So there's probably no crew that was killed or anything like that. They probably just captured the ship
they may
out
have
of
been
a
killed,
shipyard.
but not recently.
200 years ago.
Yes.
Either way, they're dead.
Possibly.
Depends on how long they live.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I forgot we were living in a world where
Again, you got to
live.
remember that ship has been decommissioned for almost 200 years. So odds are they just took it.
We're warping to Narendra.
Yes.
And it will take a week and a half because you went roundabout way. Roundabout and a runabout.
So, question.
Answer.
How does one go to the toilet in the roundabout?
In
Runabout.
the roundabout.
Very, very.
You spin around
How does one...
and everyone ducks
on a
for
roundabout?
cover.
In a roundabout, you're generally in a car, and I don't know that you do.
In the runabout, I am assuming that there would have to be a toilet. They don't show it because it's one of those things in Trek, you don't need toilets.
You don't need
Yes.
to see everything.
But I mean, you don't see toilets ever, but they have had bathrooms in the crew quarters, so, they've come out, wearing robes after having a shower sort of thing, so there would have to be, because they never just talked about it because they just wouldn't, but they've never said, oh, we got around the whole having to go to the toilet thing now, you take a pill, you don't have to do that.
Yes.
You just
It's the future. We don't do that anymore.
stick a tube on and
So I
you're right.
am just saying that there would be a section that is a small, like an airline toilet. It'd just be not a particularly open, it'd be a pretty square little box that you have to...
This is Commander Hunt's biggest concern about the week's journey back.
Well, I was curious. We're spending a lot of time together, very close. We're smelling each other. We're understanding.
Not necessarily.
I mean, Hunt's not walking up to you and smelling you. Literally.
No, he's not Jinwei.
But after a week, we're going to start to
It would be a
smell.
little ripe. Yeah.
We would be a bit right by the time we got back to the ship.
Because you would have chosen...
Yes, I smell like burnt flesh.
Oh yes, and how was your wound after a week of?
I mean, I'd still just be using basically what is burn gel and what I have written down my little handy explanation as space Advil, hydrocortisone, which is your generic painkiller.
I'm gonna search that up.
What,
Space
hydrocortisone? It's not really
Space Advil.
No, that's just what I have put for my own knowledge. So that's my description of it in my notes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not what they
I was-
describe it as.
So you're like a
Hydrocortisone, you'd have
folksy
to-
Star Trek doctor. Right?
Emily has written that, so she remembers what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to Google it, you'd have to search hydrocortisone.
And having no experience in
That's-
spelling that word, I'm going to.
That's exactly what I was about to say. If you can spell it, you can find it. And
I mean, you can try searching Space Advil and see. if that
I just did.
works. Ah.
And no, it just gave me ibuprofen. I was going to put a H in there, and a D, and in the what Emily just posted. This is how hydrocortisone.
No, not that.
What is it exactly?
Hydrocortisone is...
Space Advil.
It's a painkiller. It's often used for headaches, which is why I've written Space Advil.
I don't see it anywhere. I'm looking for it right now.
the brand is Mississauga.
Just give me a second. And...
Or is that what they gave Geordi when he was having trouble? with
I
his,
think Dr.
advisor?
Bashir and Crusher gives it quite regularly.
Yeah, the whole crew's addicted to it.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
That's
our
why they need to
oxycodone.
give it each time they're in. We better dose you up on some hydrocortisone.
Hence the medical officer's a drug
Yeah.
addict.
I've already been accused of that. She's still putting the burn gel on it. She's taking painkillers, but I don't think it's the kind of thing I can fix on a shuttle if it's disruptor burns. So
You can't give me a medical roll, though.
okay.
You might end up with a hefty scar.
Well, that's fine.
Unless scars can be cured.
I'm sure they can.
You don't really see anyone with scars, do you?
I mean, if you can regenerate bones in a few minutes, which is something I've learned today that you can do, I'm sure scars can be dealt with. Okay, I want to beat 13. And then you don't want to.
The whole face is just a scar.
That's 2 success.
Only 2? What's your 3?
Well, what's your 3 under? Don't you have any
but
medical
that's only
focuses?
if you have a... I mean, my medical focuses do not apply to myself, as xenobiology will not apply to me, and the rest are more kind of psychiatry related, so...
You think it's healing as best it can under the conditions that you're in.
Yeah.
And pain
Excellent.
management.
It's not like getting gangrenous or anything, so that's all.
I mean, it's still painful, but you're managing it.
Excellent.
So it's your scene. You can do this as long as you want until you get there.
We can sit here for an actual...
Well, that sometimes happens. You know, the runabout is the new cornerstones.
Cornerstones.
The runabout?
That's
Yeah,
what it's called. Painted on the outside, cornerstones.
The runabout's called Cornerstones. It's named after this ancient bar in Seattle, on Earth.
Well, is the ship repaired as best it can in this? So there's really no further repairs that
No.
we
You
can make
feel
to it
confident it's not going to fall
before we
apart,
go.
it's not going to explode or anything, but yeah, it's as good as it's going to get, but it's not going to get worse.
Okay. So I'll ask Lieutenant Thatcher to run a as full a diagnostic on the warp core as you can, given how it's situated inside the shuttle and all the rest of it, right? Just to make sure we've got everything that we will need to get it to work fine in the Pegasus.
All right.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm basically just trying to
Might as
give you
well.
some momentum if you get to a position where suddenly you need it.
So, where's the rest of the crew gonna think this warp core came from?
That is 1 success.
Can I assist him, or can I roll a 1? Because I've got warp field theory.
Have you assist?
We used a replicator.
Have you?
I have not assisted in this.
Then you
yet,
can.
No. Okay. Hey. That's definitely a success for me. So there you go, 2 successes. So do we feel that it's fit for active duty aboard the Pegasus?
Yeah, it's definitely not new, but it's in good nick.
It's producing roughly, 3 billion gigawatts of power? Are capable of doing that? Alright.
And it is taking up the vast majority of the shuttle.
Pretty much. You did take the cargo transport option,
Okay.
because you can module these things. There's 4 main modules for runabouts.
So now we just want to be sure that our... I don't think this will be a problem, but we want to ensure that the containment field generator will be okay for the extended trip. I'm assuming it would be. I don't foresee that being an issue.
All right.
So if that's the case, I think we just slowly make our way back to Narendra. And we approach the station and try to dock.
And you are hailed.
To the Pegasus.
Return hail.
This is Narendra Station
That's
to
unhappy.
unknown Ferengi craft.
Yes.
Huh. So
Excellent.
work
Time
on
to use that
them.
composure, Commander.
Now it finally
You are
kicked in.
Clearly
Amazing.
a Federation runabout, but your ID squawk is Ferengi and unknown. Please explain.
It's an error.
An error in judgment.
This is Commander Hunt. We've had some damage to our con panel. It's scrambled some of our sensors and our transponders. Where the Federation shuttlecraft from what's the
Pegasus.
call sign for
Pegasus.
our Pegasus? From the U.S.S. Pegasus. Over.
What is your Starfleet ID? You would know what that is.
Yes. And
I know
Adam's
Adam
provide-
doesn't, but in such
Yes.
things, because there'd be a record on the station of...
Yep. Hunt keys on the thing and sends through his personal confirmed identification.
And I'll jump in and say, this is First Officer Yennek of the U.S.S. Pegasus. Starfleet identification 10161. May we have clearance to dock aboard the Pegasus?
Nice.
And now I can try and dock with
Yeah.
the Pegasus.
And then that's the nice thing.
Well,
then we
though that was worth the look on Adam's face when he realised that...
It was so good.
A mix-off, oh, for fuck's sake.
No, that was all our faces, I think.
I was like, I had a whole week to realize this. A whole week!
No, I think
fix
my
it.
face was just laughing.
And
Oh, it was excellent.
I swear he's an airhead. We're going to
Well,
take off. We're just
He
going to
has
fly
hit
past
his
some
head several
weapon
times.
systems. We won't bother raising shields.
This was
Sadly, none of us thought of these things.
partly why I was
so-
giving
I'll
you
just
room.
change our
Well, it's
squad.
your scene. I was trying to just letting you room. Is there anything else you want to do? Nah, we're good. We're
I'm
good.
thinking, what can I do?
We're
What possibly can I do?
fine.
What does he want us to do? I'm thinking to myself, this is a hint in some way, but
And immediately
getting it.
after you said it's our scene, I think that's when Adam was like, well, are there any bathrooms on the...
Priorities.
so obviously my priorities were...
Forgot that, though. We all forgot
Yep.
that apparently
Damn.
we were saying, yeah.
Do I need to roll to dock into the back of the USS
Only if you want to.
Pegasus, or?
And I'm only saying that because there's a...
I'm not.
You can just do it. There's a lot of automation involved, and that hasn't been... I'm only saying if you want to roll because you can possibly generate momentum. Also complications if you roll 20s, but I'm just saying...
Can you fail?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he rolls over his con for twice, then yeah, it'd be a rougher... Now, there is a rule which is called succeed with complication or something like that it's called. So if you go to fail and you went, I don't want to fail because I don't want to bang the shuttle with the warp core into Pegasus, everyone's watching, it will be embarrassing. We will succeed, but the GM gets 2 threat.
Ah, okay.
So
Okay. All right. So I can make a roll to land. But yeah, obviously he's taking his time. being very careful, compensating for the damaged con, and I get two successes.
2 momentum. It's a 0-0. It's a 0 task.
Nice.
Now you might not need momentum at this point, depending what happens, but it's right
Always good
because
to
if something
have.
does happen, players come up with evil plots, and sometimes those evil plots get people locked in storage rooms, and
That again, I'm so sorry. That was technically my fault.
and if that happens, that would be a good time to have momentum. So you're going backwards. You're watching basically a screen because the runabout will be coming. Yeah.
Reverse camera. Yeah.
And you're probably letting a lot of it be automated, where the ship has little small tractor beams. It's got a main one, but I think it's got docking ones that help align stuff. And you hear and feel the as you dock.
Whew. All right.
Well done. So
Well.
I'll ask Commander Hunt to escort Lieutenant Kelle to the sick bay on station.
On stage.
Roger that.
And then I'll ask Thatcher to assist me with offloading the well.
I'm gonna go right back to that station.
You
sick bay, and
should
they're
go
gonna
to
be
the
like,
sick
"Weren't you
bay
just
for
here?"
sure. But I'm wondering if we should talk to the captain before we offload the warp core, or should we get the warp core at least into the Pegasus before we go talk to the captain?
No.
We can talk to the
Install
captain
it
before doing
And
anything.
then talk to the captain.
Well,
Oh.
we're not going to be able to do the full install. That's going to take time and engineers.
You have engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's going to take, like, that's not
Get
snap
the
your
process
fingers and
moving.
it's done. Yeah,
If we need to talk
that's
to
where
the
I'm at.
captain
I think we
first,
should get the
that's-
process moving.
Fine.
Okay, we'll get the process moving. Kelle, you're going to sick bay.
All right.
All right, you're with me, Kelle?
Yeah. Hunt is with Kelle. Aura, come with me. We're going to
Yep,
see to
I go
offloading
with
this and contacting the engineering personnel and get the installation underway.
All right.
After they do their thorough check, of course. Now that we're on a station and aboard the Pegasus, the warp core
Now-
can be examined better.
And we can get pizza.
Exactly. Romulan
Delivered.
ale.
We're not referencing another game at all.
No. We would never. Never ever. All right. I guess we're headed to medbay.
And I'll also signal for the captain if he so desires to come to engineering to meet with us.
And
Or we can come
the
and see
ship's
him.
computer informs you that the captain is not on the ship.
Everyone's left. What is the crew doing by themselves?
Okay. So I will ask some of the engineers that I see has anyone seen the captain?
And they say, yes, he's outside. Last we saw.
Outside?
Yes, on the ring. He was at the ring, not outside.
Not in space.
Like, this isn't a playground. What do you mean he's outside?
Riding a bike in space.
He's outside.
Oh, he's delivering pizza, is he?
He wants to clear his head,
That's
literally.
that's his second job.
He's not doing anything at the moment.
Well, he didn't know if we'd be successful, so he's trying to raise some extra money in case they have to buy a warp core.
We're gonna see him, and he's gonna have these assignment folders. He's gonna quickly put them behind his back. Oh, Commander, didn't expect to see you again.
He's been coordinating repairs, so he's been outside.
Okay. Fair enough. So we will get them to start with the analysis of the warp core, and then move on to installation But after they run the, they've got to run the results by, well, I guess chief engineer or at least the captain or something, right? Like, I don't know where the XO would fall in that kind of thing. I don't know that it's the XO's duty or not, but whomever they have to run it by, we would ask that they run it by that person or those people, and then move from there. And then I guess Aura and I would probably go look for the captain.
So about 6 engineers take the warp core and start running tests and stuff on it.
And ask no questions about
They do
where it's
not.
from?
I think it's going to be kind of one of those worst kept secrets in Starfleet, but everybody knows to keep their mouth shut about it.
So Phoenix and Kelle were going to sickbay.
Yep.
Okay. So you exit the ship and you can see a Vulcan female, the captain, and Condor standing off to one side.
Condor?
The Klingon,
The brother
who
of
you were
Breeder.
begging
Oh.
to let you, like, examine the bridge
Yes.
of the ship.
Hunt turns to Tuan and raises an eyebrow.
What?
Do you want to go over and say hi?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. So rather than head to the med bay, we're now heading over to see the captain.
It's been a week and a half already. It's not gonna burn anymore.
Oh my god! You're lucky it's not even infected with the.
I've got
Oh.
antibiotics
Animatic.
and stuff.
Oh,
I could
would
tell
we
you
have
exactly what they're called too.
antiperspirant deodorant or something like that? Like
That's not part of a med kit. If you brought your own, then sure, you've got it.
I think what he's getting at is
Deodorant.
you've been on a shuttlecraft for a week and a half.
Would they have like a spray that has like nanobots which removes the smell?
You might, but
I don't
again,
know.
that's not a medical item. That's a personal item.
Okay, I guess we'll walk over to where the captain is.
Are you obviously injured?
Got a bandaged arm.
Okay. Lieutenant, how are you?
Does it look serious?
You're asking this
I-
now?
See?
I mean,
You just
it
noticed.
It should have been something we considered a lot.
Along
earlier
with
than
shields and
this.
Ferengi transponders.
Hey, I stated right at the beginning that she bandaged it up after and she'd have been changing that, like, every day and putting the burn gel or whatever on it. So I thought about this. You're the one who seems confused. It sounds like they said, "Lieutenant, are you okay?" And the commander went, "Oh, does it look serious?"
Carry on, Lieutenant.
I am all right, thank you.
Disruptor wound, sir. Oh, no.
Yes, from that long-range comms check, Commander.
Yep. Yes. We encountered some turbulence, and some of the systems on board our shuttlecraft were damaged, and unfortunately, the lieutenant here was doing some work and got disrupted by a large electrical shock, which burnt her arm.
Yes. What's deception?
I was trying to deceive everyone else other than the captain?
There is the Vulcan female has
that
one eyebrow raised.
What is that? Insight
Yep, it is.
command? Medicine? What would it be?
I have composure
I was reading it today.
as a focus.
Which one does it come under? I was reading it today.
Deception.
Control command. Presence command, maybe.
Yeah, it's presence.
Presence command? Dan?
Presence security.
Security.
Yeah, I'll allow it to be
She will
command.
believe what I say. So presence command.
All right, and I have composure as well. So,
Composure to stand there and lie about electrical fires.
of course, because he's so used to lying about
Electrical fires?
stuff.
A
Oh my
19!
god! What the hell are these freaking 19s?
It's always the
success.
first dice too.
It's like the
Yes.
fourth 19 of the night, I swear.
I think Dice Maiden shows the highest one first.
You're not entirely sure the Vulcan is buying it.
It just at least has to appear plausible.
And there's a bleep, and he flicks open his thing. He goes, "Ah, excellent. I see, by pure chance, you found a warp core that fits our ship floating in a nebula. Do you know what the
Yes.
odds of that would be?" "Well, yes, Captain. They would be utterly astronomical. They would be to the power of 0. So, shouldn't have asked you."
It was quite miraculous, yes.
So it would be my understanding that perhaps a NX ship just happened to be flying through the nebula, suffered some sort of catastrophic event, maybe one that disappeared a couple of 100 years ago, and ejected their warp core. And it was just, we're on a long-range comms checks. We decided, hey, here's a nice-looking nebula. We'll go and have a look, and because,
We love nebulas.
we love nebulas and nebulae. Okay,
Nebulae.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. And it was just, yep, exactly, laying there, sir. Floating
The
in
odds of
space.
that string of coincidences would be, yes, thank you.
We were just as surprised as you are.
Well, excellent work. I am glad that the comms check was successful.
It went well, yes.
And the Vulcan looks at him and says, "I don't recall seeing anything in the comms log. Would you like to go to engineering and
Just
help with the installing the warp core?"
Yes, we're sorry about the comms check, sir, but obviously through the damage of the shuttle and investigating the nebula, we were unable to complete the full comms check, so it may be that we have to go on another comms check.
I think that won't be necessary right now.
In the near future.
You can see the ship
Not right now.
is looking a lot better. Like, externally, it's looking, in the time you've been gone, looks like a lot of work has been done. And it also looks like there's some Klingons on the outside working on it as well.
I won't question this. But I was escorting Lieutenant Tuan here to the med bay.
That sounds like a decent thing to be doing.
Thank you, sir. With your leave.
You may.
Let's go, Lieutenant.
And
Yes,
you
Commander?
hear Condor saying to the Alorna, who's the Vulcan, "Can I borrow this for a moment? Thank you." "Karog!" And you see one of the figures on the top of the hull stop and sort of turn around. "You missed a bit." And you see him sort of look down, look back, You think he's really resisting giving some sort of gesture. And then Bredor on the comms channel is, stop teasing him.
Lieutenant, is this typical Klingon behavior?
I don't know. I would say it seems typical for these particular siblings.
Ah, okay. Understand. Interesting. All right, we're heading to the med bay.
And
All
you
right.
walk in, and a hologram appears. Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Burns.
And he takes out a tricorder and starts scanning. So he motions over to one of the beds, a more upright one, so you'd have to lay down, but it's full length, but you sort of sit up on it.
All right, and Kelle will go sit on that.
And he starts administering treatment once you are comfortable. A better
All right.
pain to start with, pain relief.
Not
Space
Advil.
Advil. And once your regeneration is starting, he turns to the commander. Please state the nature of your medical emergency.
Commander's surrendering, saying, I'm fine.
Why are you in sickbay then?
I'm escorting the lieutenant here.
Are you fine, though?
A disembodied voice says?
Wait, I'm hearing voices now.
Oh dear.
Oh, you forgot that, didn't
Which is what separates the disembodied voice from...
Yes.
He looks at you and says, you appear to be under some level of stress. And he types at the console, and then he starts to access. You require a counselor. I recommend Kelle. Tuan. Location, sickbay.
That's me. Yes. Hello.
She is currently unavailable.
I can schedule an appointment for him at some point.
Well, I don't really need to talk about anything, Lieutenant.
You don't need to talk about anything. That sounds like it would make your life rather difficult.
How weird. What are you talking about,
You
stress?
just had a
Stupid
conversation
machine.
with yourself.
He's shaking his fist at the proverbial
Aura.
At the voices?
The proverbial aura.
Thatcher.
Lieutenant Thatcher is not here, Commander.
I know that.
That's good.
Lieutenant. Yes, no, I am fine. Although I am feeling a mild form of stress right now.
I see.
How are
Thatcher,
you feeling,
Aura,
Lieutenant?
Science Officer, Pegasus. What's the nature of his medical
Yes.
emergency?
I believe he is fine at the moment.
Then why is he in medbay?
He needs a colonoscopy.
He's not in medbay. I'm fine. I mean, definitely feeling better than before.
Ah, very good.
And yep, whenever I am cleared to leave, good
Which
to
will
go.
be 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Gotta hang out here for 2 hours. I imagine you can head back though.
I got no reason to be back.
Do you have any reason to hang out here for 2 hours?
I'll keep you company, Lieutenant.
All right. It sounds like you're going to be consistently asked what your medical emergency is, though.
If it does, I guess. Do I have overriding authority on stuff like this? Like, what? But surely it wouldn't like pop up again and just say, "What's the nature?"
Would
of
it annoy you if it
emergency? Yes.
I think you've answered your.
No, it won't. Actually, I'll just.
It wouldn't bother me at all. Actually, I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter. Do it all you want. It's no big deal.
I actually prefer it.
Oh, good. It'll do it a lot then.
I don't imagine. I suppose it's not an issue. I don't imagine this is going to be put down in my files as an electrical injury, though.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
Well, considering I am in charge of the medical files for the crew members of the Pegasus, I'm sure it will be fine.
I would suggest putting it down as a electrical burn, Lieutenant.
I will see what I can do.
Very good. And I guess we'll just... I mean, I don't want the med bay to be the new cornerstones.
Yeah, no. We don't have much to do for 2 hours. And you can't drink in the med bay.
Or can
Who
you?
says? They got medical alcohol in here, surely.
That is not for consumption.
No, more like... It's rubbing it on your arm and
I'm
smelling
pretty
the...
sure rubbing alcohol makes you go blind or something if you drink it.
Rubbing... I've never heard of it. Rubbing
You've never heard of rubbing alcohol?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Is that what they
Stab
rub on
you
you
with
before
something.
they stab you? Okay. Oh, isopropyl.
Yeah.
Ethanol based. Yes, that would be...
You're not supposed to drink it.
I mean, maybe if you sipped it very, very slowly.
Nope. Alright, well, I guess the medbay scene is concluded.
So, meanwhile, we've been bringing the warp core in and helping the engineers to set it up.
You can give me a roll, somebody?
Sure.
$19.
Another 19!
My goodness.
It's the curse
Ah,
of
but
the
he got a 3.
19s.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have any focuses.
I don't think
What
so.
about
not
warp
unless
cores?
it's,
I'm sorry,
unless
what
it's
is he rolling?
physics.
Uh,
I'm rolling to help the engineers to hook up the warp core, I believe, with your help.
Okay, so Aaron, I should be able to roll.
yes, there's a new scene.
Okay, so if it's control and engineering, that's a success for me.
Okay. So it's getting into place and hooked up. You're reasonably confident it's close to being able to be turned on and tested.
Okay, so at the appropriate time, we'll disengage the portable containment field generator and have it switched over to the ship's containment field generator, and with the instruction from the engineering personnel aboard the ship, we'll give it a test when it's available.
And all lights are in the green and stable.
Nice.
Fantastic. So I'll immediately report to the captain that we have a functional warp drive installed in the engineering section of the Pegasus.
All right, turn her on.
And we do.
And a lot of lights and sensors and dials and that light up as power goes through it. Externally, lights appear over the ship, and the warp nacelles start to glow in a couple of places.
Excellent. No more candles.
Exactly, yes. Well, we fixed the lights last week.
I know. That was one of the first things.
The Voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus utilises the excellent official rules Star Trek Adventures released by Mephidius Games. Featuring Emily as Lieutenant Kelle, Shadow as Lieutenant Aura, Raveninsane as Commander Hunt, Ken as Commander Yennek, and Ghost as the GM. Many of the sounds come from Syrinscape, an excellent app for bringing more life to your gaming table. You can find us at critfail.com.